Else.
Right, good morning everybody. Hope you all had a great weekend after the very eventful event of Joshua Povetkin, of course. So I'm looking at the top 10 right now on BoxRec. Now, I didn't look at the WBC, WBO, IBF, WBA, etc. because obviously these kind of rankings seem to be somehow bought at times. Okay, not necessarily bought, but there certainly seems to be some kind of bias within there, and we can certainly see that. So I went on to BoxRec, which is an independent of sorts anyway, ranking system where they have like their own points and what have you. So I was looking at the top 10 heavyweights right now. Now, if we was to look at all of them right now, number 1, Joshua, 2, Wilder, 3, Povetkin, 4, Tyson Fury, 5, Dylan White, 6, Jarrell Miller, 7, Luis Ortiz, 8, Dominic Brazil, 9, Adam Kalinowski, and 10, Joseph Parker. Now, if we were to look at Anthony Joshua straight away, already he's on 770 points, which is double of what number 2 place has, Wilder. Now, this is obviously not fully updated right now because Povetkin, he's just lost, so therefore Anthony Joshua will get a whole load more points for beating a number 3 rated Alexander Povetkin. But you know what, we're going to miss out on some of that stuff. Now, so Anthony Joshua in the top 10, he has defeated Alexander Povetkin. He has defeated Dylan White. I hate saying that one, to be honest, but you know what, it is what it is. He's also defeated Dominic Brazil, and of course, he's defeated Joseph Parker. So Anthony Joshua has defeated currently 4 of the top 10. So out of a potential 9 opponents, he's already defeated 4 of them in 22 fights as a unified heavyweight world champion. Let's look at Wilder. So Wilder's ranked number 2. He has defeated Luis Ortiz, and he's defeated, Luis Ortiz. So that goes to show you the vast difference between them, right? So, and the reason that I'm doing this is because I've been getting like a lot of comments how Joshua's overrated and Wilder is the true champion. I mean, it's complete garbage, right? I mean, think about it. Anthony Joshua, 28 years old. Deontay Wilder, 32 years old. So there's actually a 4-year difference between them, okay? When Wilder turned pro, Joshua walked into a gym for the very first time. Not turning pro himself, wasn't even an amateur. He walked into a gym at the same time. Okay? So, listen, Wilder could potentially get Tyson Fury on his resume. Okay? So that would be 2 of the top 10. Whether we agree with these rankings or what. Okay? Personally, I don't think Tyson Fury should be there because he hasn't done anything to be there. By beating Superiority and Francisco Pianeta is not enough. Now, I know people say Vladimir Klitschko, that's fine. But again, let's talk about Vladimir Klitschko, shall we? So, with the fact that Anthony Joshua has all these names on his resume, yet let's throw in there Vladimir Klitschko, shall we? Is that what we'll do? We're throwing Vladimir Klitschko on top of the 4 right there. So, whose resume is far superior? Now, this doesn't mean that Joshua is guaranteed to beat Wilder. Not at all. Of course it doesn't. Okay, this isn't a computer game. It doesn't work that way. So, anyway, I just wanted to rectify something. So, as I said, Anthony Joshua has double the points. Why does he have double the points? Because he's taken on the stiffer opposition. Okay? 22 fights. Wilder, 40 fights. Anthony Joshua, 22 fights. Deontay Wilder, 40 fights. And look at the resumes. As I said, look at Joshua's beaten a top 4 currently ranked, plus Vladimir Klitschko. People really want to say this. Now, people may say, well, okay then, so with Deontay Wilder, what name does he have on his resume? In all truth, he only has 1, Luis Ortiz. That's it, just Luis Ortiz. Now, he hasn't even cleaned up domestically yet. I mean, look at the domestic ones. Jarrell Miller, Dominic Brazil, Adam Kalinowski. So therefore, he hasn't even cleaned up domestically yet he's the best in the world. When you haven't even cleaned up domestically. doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now people say, well, Joshua hasn't cleaned up domestically fully either because of Tyson Fury. Well, Tyson Fury's been out of the game for 3 years. So it would be a little bit difficult now, wouldn't it? So, okay, so let's move on to, again, there seems to be a bit of a thing going around at the minute that Alexander Povetkin, he's old, he's slow, and la la la. Yeah, he's never been stopped before, yet Deontay Wilder avoided Alexander Povetkin because Povetkin, he did fail a PED test, but he was within the legal limit, which meant the fight should have still went ahead. How do we know this? Alexander Povetkin proved this, and he won the case in court. So therefore, Wilder ducked him. Okay? Now, Anthony Joshua's victory over Alexander Povetkin. Alexander Povetkin, former Olympic gold medalist, former WBA world champion. Only ever got beaten one time, and that was on points by Vladimir Klitschko, who, let's be real, should have and could have been disqualified in that fight for using the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, everything, leaning all over him, grabbing him in arm locks and throwing him around the ring. That's the only fight that he's ever lost. But yet, Luis Ortiz is a better victory for Deontay Wilder than what Alexander Povetkin is. So again, Povetkin, Ortiz, both the same age, 39 years old. Who has the better resume? You don't even have to look at that one now, do you? Alexander Povetkin has a far superior resume. And people say, well, Anthony Joshua got hurt in that fight. Oh my days, no, hang on a minute. He's in a boxing fight and Alexander Povetkin managed to hit Joshua in the face. Hold the phone. How dare he? Josh, you must be trash, man. You go 7 rounds and somebody punches you in the face in a boxing match? Unbelievable. He got punched in the nose. Okay. Not only that, Joshua stops Povetkin in 7 rounds, knocks him out. Deontay Wilder, should we talk about what happened with him in round number 7 against Luis Ortiz? Well, the referee could have, and probably should have, stopped that fight. Well, I say should have. In hindsight, probably not, because he managed to compose himself enough to continue the fight and get the win. But Deontay Wilder needed help at the beginning of round 8 when he got off his stool. He got help from the referee and the medical team against a guy who's never been a world champion, who's never been an Olympian, never achieved anything as an amateur, when Luis Ortiz's best win is Brian Jennings, who in the previous fight got beaten by Vladimir Klitschko. But yet, Luis Ortiz is a better name than Alexander Povetkin. Okay, so yesterday I did a poll. Who wins between Alexander Povetkin and Luis Ortiz if it were to happen? 75% said Alexander Povetkin would beat Luis Ortiz. It's not a biased poll. I can't vote on this. This is from YouTube. Any uploader knows that when you do a poll or anything like that, you can't vote yourself. And it's not exclusive to your subscribers. So again, it's not a biased one of just UK fans can vote on this one. No. Because I have heard in the past where people say to me, well, it's a biased poll because you're British. But what difference does that make? Anybody can vote on this one. You don't have to be even a subscriber to vote on these. But I do appreciate those who are subscribed. So, yeah, I think it's clear just on that one, Joshua has a better resume than Deontay Wilder by a landslide. So why are people talking as if Wilder has? It's not even competitive. It's not even close. It shouldn't even be a talking point, but for some reason it is, because a very small section of Wilder fans, they are here just to try and cause a little bit of problems, okay? They don't actually want to see Joshua versus Wilder. They just want to have some kind of vocal voice here online where they want to chastise everything that Joshua does in favour of Wilder, because they want to try and convince people that Wilder has done something special. 40 fights. Luis Ortiz is his biggest and best win. But yet these same people who are bigging up the fact that he beat Luis Ortiz, which was impressive, by the way, regardless of the fact that he was knocked the hell out in round number 7, Wilder was out of it. And had the referee stopped that fight, he was in no position to complain. He wouldn't be able to. He didn't know where he was. Luckily, the bell saved him. And that's the reality of it. But yet these same people who big up that win are saying about how Alexander Povetkin broke Anthony Joshua's nose. He punched him in the nose. In a fight, Joshua managed to get hit on the nose. Outrageous. Was Joshua in any kind of trouble in this fight? Did Joshua need the referee or the medical team to help him out? If anything, that referee was brilliant. He stayed out of it. He didn't get involved. At times, I thought that the referee should have broke up certain situations, but he didn't. He just let these two guys fight. And that's the reality of it. So anybody who says that Alexander Povetkin is not a good win, you've got another serious agenda. Anthony Joshua, like him or don't like him, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Look at the resume. It's a fact. 22 fights. Look at his resume. Look at it. You don't even need me to tell you. Wilder, 40 fights. Look at his resume. And I know people say, well, Anthony Joshua ducked Luis Ortiz. Well, no, he didn't. He offered Luis Ortiz a contract to fight him next after his RBF mandatory, which was originally Pulev, which then got turned to Takam. But he said, I'll fight you next. Here's a contract. Luis Ortiz said no. He wanted to fight Wilder. Why? Because he's seen Wilder as an easier fight. He wanted to go to Joshua for an undisputed fight, or a unification fight at the time as it was. In other words, get more money at the table. So no, Joshua did offer Luis Ortiz a contract. That's a fact. He did do that. So no, he didn't. So it's not even competitive, is it? Povetkin is a bigger, better win than Luis Ortiz. But yet you add in there Dylan White, number 1 with the WBC. You throw in there Dominic Brazil, the WBC mandatory. Come on now. It's not even competitive. Who is the true king of the heavyweight division right now? Whether or not you believe Wilder would beat Joshua or Joshua beats Wilder, regardless of that, who is the champion at heavyweight right now? It's Anthony Joshua. Of course it is. And people who say that, well, if Wilder beats Tyson Fury, then he's lineal. Lineal don't mean nothing. It means nothing. Who cares about lineal? Nobody cares about lineal. This isn't the 1980s. People don't care about it. They really don't. It's only important if you've been defending it against the best. So if Tyson Fury fought Sylvester Ferry, who is a part-time boxer and a full-time promoter, and Sylvester Ferry chinned Tyson Fury, does that mean Sylvester Ferry is lineal? Does that make him number 1 in the world? What if Tyson Fury lost to Pianeta? Pianeta would be number 1 in the world, according to your logic. Think about it. We all know why Wilder's taking on Tyson Fury. And I hope Tyson Fury beasts him. But I'm not confident it's going to happen. So anyway, just getting that news out there for you all. No biggie. I'm just giving you the facts. No opinions here. Facts. Drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up and subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.